Hi, welcome to the Spirit of Entrepreneurship. My name is Sue Babin and I am the host for today's show, which is going to be on the topic of elevator speech and how do you write a great elevator pitch. This program is part of a project that's funded by the Department of Labor and Training to the Rhode Island Developmental Disabilities Council to help individuals with disabilities and others to start and grow successful businesses in Rhode Island. So what we want to do today is focus in on one of the aspects of business development, which is how do you go about selling your business to other people that are listening to you. And today we have as one of our guests is Deb Moraes. Deb is the president of Communication Works, and Deb is also one of our business specialists that works with individuals that are involved in our project to assist them with business development, and she's also one of the instructors for our marketing program. So I'd like to welcome Deb to today's show, and we want to talk a little bit about an elevator pitch or speech. So Deb, can you start off by telling everyone exactly what is an elevator pitch?
Basically, it's a brief, persuasive speech or pitch that you use to spark interest in what you've done, and more importantly, how you can help that other person, target audience, solve a problem or make their life better in some way.
Okay, so one of the things that's really important about an elevator pitch is that it's the first impression that somebody gets right away when they start talking to you. And so when you meet someone that's new, many times people just say, "Hi, how are you? So what is it that you do?" And so it's your opportunity to tell your story to people. And so it's the first impression that somebody would get. So it's real important to learn some specific tips for entrepreneurs so that they can sell themselves and their business to people that they come into contact with. So as the president of Communication Works, you obviously have a lot of experience in dealing with different clients. What are some of the things that you talk to your clients about as they want to present information about themselves in an elevator pitch?
It's a good question, and I think the best place to start, and what I do usually with my clients, is I know that they're aware of what they offer, what its feature is, the size of something or whatever, but I try to tell them, think about what the benefits are, as I opened up with how it's going to make someone else's life better, simpler, in some way solve a problem. So if they think about that first and make a goal, what is your goal? What do you want that target audience, that person who you're pitching or presenting to, what do you want them to know so that they can feel that by buying your service or product, they've accomplished their goal or you've solved their problem.
Okay, so when you think about the things that you buy in life, right, there's a lot of different reasons why you buy stuff. And so that is part of what people need to think about as they're crafting their elevator pitch. Is it something that's solving a problem, as you were just saying? Is it something that is going to make a person's life more convenient? Is it a quality item? Is it something that you just enjoy? Is it a food or a product that you can eat? What are the different, what else would be a reason that someone might want to buy a particular product?
That list is so extensive. Often when we're working with the class or even with clients, I have a little checkoff sheet and have them list or circle. It makes their life happier. It makes their production, if they're working business to business, it makes it more effective, it makes it more efficient, it helps them save time, it helps them save money. Or it might be something a little more intangible, like it makes me feel happy, it makes me feel calm, it makes me feel like I have just invested in me for a change, or it gives me peace. So there are tangible things, but there are a lot of intangible things, and some products and services are meant to combine the two, and it's a good idea for a prospective seller of a product or service to think about their product and service and what its benefits are to that person, tangible or otherwise.
And one of the things that we talk about in the class that is really important is for people to videotape themselves, to use a cell phone or to use a camera to actually videotape themselves giving their elevator pitch so that they can see themselves how they're doing. What do you think about that?
It's ideal. Long before we had cell phones, it was a little more cumbersome to try to do that. I know in the past we've done it with cameras, and that usually would be a little off-putting. But today it's so easy and so convenient for someone to rehearse. So in the one part, you're thinking first about what the content of your pitch is. What are the, as you say, the benefits of what's unique, the unique selling proposition as we talk about it. But also there's how do you deliver that content. And when you end up putting that iPhone or that smartphone in front of someone, they get a chance to actually see how they present, whether they make eye contact, whether they use their hands, whether they don't use their hands. How about the inflection in their voice, whether they stumble, whether they say or you know too many times, or even if they've been able to seem like they've captured attention. And usually when it's played back and rehearsed and someone can see that objectively themselves, they get a very good idea about what their delivery is like and how they can improve it and rehearse it and nail it the next time.
And get better and better every time that you do it. So it is a good way to get a base of how you're doing with speaking and to pick up yourself on ways that you can improve your presentation or what it is that you want to say. I think the other thing that is important for people to know is to speak clearly, to look happy, to be upbeat, because when you're talking to somebody that's monotone, it's not interesting. So you really want to show your passion for what it is that you have an interest in terms of your business, why you chose that, why it's interesting to you, and to be excited about it so that people see that you're excited, and so they're normally going to want to keep engaging in conversation with you.
You know, what you're saying is so true, and often people will say, I can't possibly sell me, sell myself, sell my product. But if you ask them, why did you get into that business? What do you like about it? What is your passion? How did you solve somebody's problem? Usually they will find some inspiring story, and the minute they do, the eyes light up. That's the gotcha. And if they can share that, that's a winning elevator pitch.
Right, because that's the connection. If I'm listening to you and you're saying something that's clicking in my head, that's a connection, and I'm going to pay more attention to what you're saying.
And you know, when you mentioned earlier about using a video, when someone's rehearsed it enough, they certainly want to memorize it but not seem as if they're a robot, not to seem robotic and stilted. But when you are very comfortable with what you're going to say and you don't have to always focus on that, it gives you the opportunity then to watch the recipient's reaction. Are they getting it? Are you getting a nod just as you're doing with me now? And that really absolutely underscores to the person who's telling the story, I've got them and here's what I want to share a little bit more about.
Right, with so many small businesses starting up, and I think we mentioned on the other show that 95% of the businesses in Rhode Island are small businesses, it's really important that people carve out what their unique value proposition is, what makes them so different, what makes them stand out as a business, so that the potential customer can identify with what that is. So it's really key for individuals to think about that. What is the purpose of the business, and how does that make a difference in the life of potential customers that are out there?
And you know, in order to get at that, sometimes it's a good idea to check out what your competition's doing, read about it, use secondary.
Great advice.
You can look at what's going on online and how other people sell and how they position themselves, how they strategize, what's best about their product. And it gives them some ideas that they might not be this, but they are that. And it helps them develop and craft what makes them different, as you say, and that does make a difference. And so for some, it's how they deliver or how they pitch it, but that's a good entree for many to just do a little background research before they finish that content.
Deb, what would you say is the most important tip that you could give to folks in crafting their elevator pitch? What's the one point that they should really focus in on?
I think that if they're starting a business and working on an elevator pitch, it would be a good idea for them to tick off what the product's features are, but focus instead on the benefits to whomever they're serving. Whatever is going to, as we say, help make somebody else's life better or solve a problem. Focus on the benefits of what it can do for someone else rather than what the features are, or what the elements or the package or whatever is. Better to focus on the other person.
Right, because I think one of the main points of an elevator pitch is to pique the interest of the person that you're talking to so that they want to know more about what it is that you're offering. And the person that's giving the pitch can ask for a meeting to follow up with that individual and potentially tell that possible customer more about what it is that they do.
It's good. Actually, when you get to pay attention to what how the other person is responding, that question might be to ask for an interview or ask for an opportunity to sales pitch or to just present. Also might be, tell me more about your business as an open-ended question, and you'll get more information to tell that will then let you know what else you need to tell that prospective customer about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So a couple of weeks ago, we ran a class on an elevator pitch, and we had a speaker come in, and one of the things that she shared with everybody was a portion of a TED Talk that was done by Simon Sinek, who is a nationally known speaker. And Simon gave a presentation about an elevator speech and what he thought was the most important aspect of that. And he made some really important points that we thought it would be important to share that today so that people could see it. And the thing that he kind of zoned in on is that most business people always tell people about what it is that they do, and sometimes they even tell them how they do it, how a product is made. But not too often do people get into the why, of why exactly did they choose that particular business? What's their passion behind that? So that's kind of what the focus is of this TED Talk. So we want to take a few minutes to watch. It's less than 2 minutes to watch this portion of the TED Talk, and then we'll come back and talk about that, talk about what we just saw on the TED Talk, and we're going to have a couple of guests in the second half of the program. So I'd like to thank you, Deb, for coming today.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you want to wrap up with?
Passion. I guess that's one of the more important things that you mentioned earlier, and I guess that is something that will spur any entrepreneur on to carry on. And I think that probably when people are thinking about what they want to do, that's a key issue.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again for coming today, and let's take a look at this TED Talk. Thank you.
I call it the golden circle. Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. I use Apple because they're easy to understand and everybody gets it. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. And that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done, that's how most sales is done, and that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do, we say how we're different or how we're better, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's our new law firm. We have the best lawyers with the biggest clients. We have, we always perform for our clients, do business with us. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has, leather seats. Buy our car. But it's uninspiring. Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? You ready to buy a computer from me? All I did was reverse the order of the information. What it proves to us is that people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it.
Welcome back to the second half of our show, and I hope everyone enjoyed that TED Talk, which really was very interesting in that Simon was talking about the importance of communicating why you have a passion for a particular business, as opposed to what the business is all about. And so today we have a couple of guests that are here to talk about their business, and I would like both of you to introduce yourselves. So we'll start over here with Chris. So if you could say your name and what's the name of your business?
Sure. My name is Chris Rancourt Bruzy, and my company is Chris Bruzy's Beauty Counter.
My name is Casey Naylor, and my business is Jewelry from the Owl's Nest.
Jewelry from the Owl's Nest and Beauty Counter. So we'll start with you, Chris. Can you tell us a little bit about Beauty Counter? And even before you say that, how long have you been in the business with Beauty Counter?
Well, Beauty Counter has been around for almost 6 years.
Okay.
And I've been a consultant with Beauty Counter for almost 4.
Okay. What is Beauty Counter?
Beauty Counter is, it's a company that produces safer and high-performing skincare and cosmetic products. And what I love is the safety piece of it. And that's what really drives me to continuing on with this business and having it for all of these years, because we are committed to providing safer products to everyone, to get safer products into everyone's hands. And that's really, really important to me.
What are some of the products that the company offers?
We offer all sorts of products for everybody. So we have sunscreen, which everybody can use in various forms of sunscreen. We have men's products, such as the Counterman line. We have skincare products, like our new anti-aging product, which is called Counter Time. We have cosmetics. Cosmetics include all things from foundations to concealers, eyeshadows, blushes, etc. Hair products, shampoos, soaps, etc. And what is really unique about what it is that we offer, that Beauty Counter offers, is that we have literally banned over 1,500 ingredients that have proven to be toxic or could be toxic to the body. And so for me, it's safety is number one, and I want to be using safe products. And I want my customers to be using safe products, and I want to educate people about using safe products. So even if they don't use Beauty Counter, so long as they're using something that's good for them and safe for them, that's what matters, you know. And just as an aside, Beauty Counter bans 1,500 ingredients. The European Union bans 1,400 ingredients from their beauty products. Canada bans 600 ingredients.
Wow.
The United States, 30.
Whoa.
Let that sink in.
Wow.
30.
Wow.
So Beauty Counter is leading the charge, and really, we're on a mission. We're a movement around creating safer products for everyone to use.
I happen to be a customer of Beauty Counter for about 4 years now, and so I'm really familiar with the products. One of the products that I really like is the products for children. The shampoos and the conditioners and body washes are all really, really nice.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit more about what you have in front of you today, but let's talk a little with Casey. So Casey, tell us a little bit about your business.
My business is Jewelry from the Owl's Nest. All of my products are handmade and eco-friendly. My goal is to keep things that can be turned into beautiful creations out of landfills. My goal is to reduce landfill pileup.
And what kind of products do you make?
I make jewelry items such as bracelets with paper beads. I made the beads myself.
Can you describe, so what do you mean you made the beads? What does that mean?
I rolled the beads from paper bags into beads that can be worn on everyday use, and these are waterproof.
Cool. Where do you get the bags from?
The bags are from my shopping. And I just feel that instead of throwing them away, which I feel a lot of people do, I can turn them into something else.
How did you come up with the idea for this business?
It just came to me one day.
Really? Wow. And what other products do you make? So you have you just showed us a bracelet, so what else do you make?
I have with me a necklace that has some metal gears in it. Because metal takes hundreds and hundreds of years to break down in the earth. So these would not break down in our lifetime. These tiny little gears in this necklace would not break down in my lifetime, your lifetime, anyone's lifetime.
And the rings that you're wearing?
This ring, these rings are a bauble ring made from various buttons. Beads. I have this one, which is made of pearls, and they are eco-friendly. They are sourced from oysters at an oyster farm. And this is a button ring that came off of a coat. And instead of throwing it away and just replacing the button, I turned it into something that can be worn, because plastic takes approximately 1,000 years to break down in the earth.
Wow. So you are basically repurposing some things that most people would just throw away.
Yes.
And it's interesting that you both have there's some similarities here with your business. So with Beauty Counter, what are some of the things that you brought today, Chris?
Well, I brought just a few products, because we have many, many products, as you well know, Sue. But I brought this sample of our sunscreen, and this is our new product line, out of the Counter Times at anti-aging. And the nice thing about this new line is it's made and produced in glass, so recyclable. And we're starting to transition into more recyclable containers for our products, which is really nice and consistent with what you were talking about. So it's very, very nice. I also brought with me some Counterman, which is from our men's line. And I got to tell you, there's oil-free face lotion. My husband loves it. And another big seller that we have is this overnight resurfacing peel, which is so great, because you just put it on, leave it on, and go to bed. You can put overnight cream on if you want, but what it does is it just takes all the dead skin cells off your face.
Interesting.
Really, really nice. Great product, and people love it. Of course, face wash, and then a couple of cosmetics. So I brought some Dew Skin, which is what I use, because Dew Skin has SPF in it, SPF 20. And that's what I use. Having had skin cancer twice, it's really important that I protect my skin, and I do it every day with the Dew Skin. So that's the foundation that I use. And then the concealer to cover up my scar, basically, from the skin cancer. So those are a few of the products that I brought with me today.
Very nice. So when you're talking about your business to other people, today's show, the topic was on an elevator pitch. So what is the most important point that you want to get across about your business, Casey, when you're telling people about it? What's the most important thing you want to say?
The most important thing I want to say is that not only is it important that we recycle and conserve to save our earth, but I also want to say that beautiful things don't have to come at a high cost.
Very good. Chris, what about you?
What I like to tell customers is that I am really very much into health and wellness. And one of the things that we all do and probably take for granted is taking care of our skin. And what we should be aware of is what is going into our products, because 80% or more of what goes into or onto our skin goes into our skin, and that can have long-term effects on us. And so our products get rid of all of the toxins and things that are questionable and are really safe for you. And what I also love about our products is they last forever. They last a very, very long time, and you do not need much. A lot of other products in the market, a lot of fillers, a lot of junk. We don't have that because everything's been tested, tested, and tested again to make sure that they're safe for you to use.
What would you both say to people that are starting off in trying to start their own business? What words of advice would you give to people? Chris, start with you.
I think you have to have a passion for what it is that you're doing. I could not work with Beauty Counter if I didn't believe in the product, if I didn't use the product, if I didn't have faith in the company's mission, in the advocacy work that we do. So it really is about passion because it really becomes ingrained in you. So when I speak to people, I can speak from my heart clearly about why Beauty Counter is so important to me and why it should be important to you as well.
And how about you, Casey?
Going off of what Chris said, not only do you have to have the heart for and believe in what you're doing, you also need to have a good support system. It's good to have people there that also believe in what you're doing to support the cause.
Because I think we mentioned earlier in the show that 95% of the small businesses, 95% of the businesses in Rhode Island are small businesses. And it takes hard work, as you all know, but I can see you both have a passion in what it is. You both believe in your products, and that's really important. I can tell by your enthusiasm that you like what you're doing. And so when you're trying to give some advice to other people that are out there, it's important that they have a passion too, and that it's something that they really enjoy doing, right? Is that what you would say?
Most definitely. I think that any passion can be turned into something bigger.
Right. What's your favorite product that you have with you today, Casey?
I would definitely say the paper beads. These are a lot of fun for me to make.
How long does it take you to make that?
All these beads in total probably take me a good 45 minutes.
Really?
To an hour to make. Because not only do I have to turn them into bead to the shape they are, but I have to coat them. I have to coat them with a sealant to make them waterproof.
Okay. And so that's definitely a one-of-a-kind item right
Yes,
there.
it is.
Okay.
Because the colored beads, which you see here, came from a bag where I bought tea from. It came from a tea shop that I do not live near anymore.
Okay.
It's far away, so I will not be going there
So it
anymore.
was a colored bag.
Yes.
And Chris, what's your favorite product?
I think my favorite product is the from the Countertime collection.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because most anti-aging products contain retinol, and retinol is not good for you.
Okay.
It's very sun sensitive, and it's actually banned in Canada and in Europe, but not here. We're monitoring it. So I love it because Beauty Counter has come up with a new complex called Retinatural Complex that produces the same effects as retinol does without the harmful side effects.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank both of you for coming to today's show and sharing your stories and your passion and showing us some of your products. And I wish you continued success as you go forward. So thank you for being a part of our show today. Each one of our shows is kind of zooming in on different topics of business development to help people to grow and expand their businesses, and really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.